Hey, surprise. I thought I'd come out here in the shop and play tonight. Um, I got this piece, from a couple of weeks ago, but it never gotten turned. And I was driving back. I was over at Lowe's today, and I was driving back and I got this idea. I said, I'm going to go out to the shop tonight and play with it. Now, I'm also kind of doing some testing. So this is an totally unscheduled live event. Testing out the green screen work, the chroma key. I've got a couple of things, especially as I learn these things. So my piece that I'm playing with out here this evening is green. It's the same color as the screen behind me, which makes for a little bit of funkiness when I change the cameras. And I'm not a rocket scientist, so I'm still working on all these things. Now, the one thing I do know is that right now, you've got my background. And I have to watch over there and see what happens. So you see a little bit of craziness in that, and then I turn that off and it gets real nice and clean. Okay, so that's what happens. And then if I go overhead, it's nice and clean. And then when I turn back on my chroma key, which I need for that shot, then it all works. So anyway, this is a piece, and I hope everybody's enjoying their Friday night. And also, I know Bridget's at work still, and you can't see down here because I got the camera close enough. She told me that I couldn't come out here casually in my flip-flops and turn anymore, so I'm wearing shoes. I just don't have on any socks in this crazy internet world with live streams. So anyway, this is a piece. I know that was just a sidebar. This is a piece that's got the brass insert for the stainless steel bottle stoppers, be it a bottle stopper, the decorative loop that we're using in the hand sanitizer keyring kit, or a honey dipper. So I was thinking about this, and I got this idea for, I did that egg a couple of weeks ago, and that egg was really cool. So I got this idea, and oh man, this is why I'm out here testing. I'm going to change the camera for a second. I'm trying to get my chat box that works in front of me to work properly, and it just doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And I'm not sure what its deal is. So that's why we have these tests, which is what we're having here tonight. And because the beta version that I'm running isn't doing the trick, and it keeps stopping. And so I'd rather get this figured out while I'm just goofing around on a Friday night. And I've got this set up way over here on a real slow computer. It is really slow. Because I want to see my chat rocks where I can see everybody. I'm trying out all the channels tonight. And this computer just does wacky things. And doesn't seem to want to do anything right. It seems to lock up completely with that program in it. So I'm going to Windows took over and wants to do things to this cold computer. Okay. So I won't have a chat box for a few minutes. I might have to walk over and look at the regular monitor. Like I said, I've got one out here that you can't see that's great because I can see what everybody's saying and writing to me. It hopefully will be back in a few minutes. I don't want to spend all night playing with that. I'll have to go back and do these privately until I get the bugs worked out. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. This is a piece that we cast, and it's got the threaded brass insert in it. And I did that egg the other day, and I was driving back today, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting to use that thread? And let me show you what I'm talking about, because I'm shooting from the way in. This threaded brass insert, and it is a 3/8 16 thread, which means it threads right onto one of these inserts with a regular standard bolt that we can buy all day long. All right? So it doesn't have to be the bottle stopper that goes in here. All right? This is making sense to you? So my theory that I'm playing with is to take, and after you make your egg shape, after you make your fun egg shape, take another piece of wood and make a base so that our base is going to sit down and we can run this bolt up through our base into our threaded insert so that our egg can sit in a nice decorative base underneath. And I thought, well, that'd be kind of a fun project to play with tonight. I just really want to turn this piece, and I had this idea while I was driving home. So I grabbed this piece of sycamore, just happened to be laying in the van, And I said, you know what? I think I'll try and play with that. So I don't have, as usual, I don't have a real structured plan for this. I'm going to turn this another egg shape, and then I'm going to play with my base concept. Haven't tried it before. Don't know where I'm going with it. I got a general idea, kind of like when I made the holoform, the resin holoforms with the balloon in the middle. I make a base and I drill a hole up through the middle of it so that the balloon can come through. Well, in this case, I'm going to run the bolt through there. Now, this bolt may be way too long and stuff like that, but that's just that's my concept, and I just want to play with it. So that's what I'm up to tonight. And like I said, I don't know if anybody's around or not. I will jump over and look at the computer screen, because I see that my old computer is doing its Windows update there in front of me. So let me jump over here real quick and see if anybody is around. No, let's go back to here. I'll make you dizzy like that. And I'm on a bunch of different channels. So let's see here. Who we got around? I'm popping around here. I see Henry Morgan's on my personal page. Hello, Henry. Hope you're doing well. I see that picture looks kind of crazy with the wood grain in the green there. So I'll do that and make that go away. And Michael Lang, Michael Lang, you were so fast on the draw today for the stair nuts. They call them stair gauges. 7 minutes, buddy, when you hit it. So I'm jumping around to the different pages here. And let me see. I'm going to go over to the Spiralcraft page. I think that's where I'm at. Yep, I'm on Spiralcraft. Joseph, I'm out here playing tonight, buddy. Good to see you. I got this whim of an idea when I was coming home from Lowe's, if you didn't hear me. And I'm going to turn another egg just for fun and working on my green key. So, of course, I chose a green product. That's great. There's lots of folks around tonight. I'm going to have fun. As soon as that other computer updates, this is so crazy. I'm watching that thing update there. That's where I should be able to see all the comments from all the channels. It's a really cool idea. It just doesn't seem to work all the time. It comes from the streaming provider that I use. And it's supposed to, and I was standing in the green screen, wasn't I? See, got to hit all the right buttons. That's why we practice. And tonight's a practice session for a variety of things. I love doing live stuff. You know, you get in there, you go, you have fun. Sometimes you screw it up. It's no big deal. So I want to turn this guy. I've got it threaded on here. I did have to pack a couple extra washers on there. I'm going to give you the overhead shot for most of it, but let me get her set up here first. And I will look back for comments here in a little bit, since I'm watching my other one not work properly. I see the cool thing about this chat system that I'm developing, or I'm not developing, I'm just trying to get the developers who are making it, I'm trying to use it. It shows me chats from YouTube and all 3 Facebook channels, which I'm on tonight. So I'm really trying to test the system. If I crash it, I crash it. I really don't care. This was a scheduled one. I mean, we got to find out if it's going to break or not. We'll be using Easy Wood Tools, negative rake cutters, carbide cutters here. Now this piece is pretty cool. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the overhead and turn off the green there so it looks normal. It's got a burl in it. It's got the iridescent glitter. I can't remember if I have any film in it or not. Oh, it reminds me. So if you remember on Monday, let me go back to this real quick. On Monday, I poured a burl with the foil, the film around it. Well, it seems as though I managed to knock it over when it was in the pressure pot, and it ended up laying on its side, and there's $25 worth of resin down in the pressure pot, and this is ready to be cast again. So I'm going to cast this again. You know, things happen. I'll take acetone and soak the bottom of the pressure pot. I mean, I hate wasting $25 worth of resin is the biggest thing. But anyway, I can't remember if any of this foil is in here, this film, or not. But if it is, that's cool. I don't think it is. And hey, Windows is up to 95% on that old machine. I hope that the wind from the fan isn't getting too much trouble. It's a little warm, even though I got the AC on out here. All right. Get my mask in place, find my tools. Going to start out with a number 1 hollower, a small one. We'll start out with that. I'm going to lay them out here on my table. I'm kind of getting to where I like using this table out here in front of me to keep my tools on. Works out pretty well. After the number 1, I'll go to the mid-size finisher round tool. Probably be the 2 main tools I work with, along with maybe the micro detailer on the mid-size micro. And then I also, right in front of me, down here on the table, I've got the micro tools, which I really like a lot. So that's kind of my little arsenal for this evening to work with. So let's go back over here to overhead for you and turn off the effect. And I see my other computer is popping up. Now I know it's slow, so I'm going to turn for a couple of minutes, and then I'll go over and try and turn that chat box back on. So I will be with the chat hopefully very soon. So I use the number 1 because it's got the CI5 cutter. It's got the small cutter in it. There we go. And I got on my shoes and no socks. I'm like Jimmy Buffett tonight. Gonna turn around 1,000 or so. So that's the old tenon that we would have used normally, but I've got this insert in the other end. And I just want to get this round to start with, or smooth. You know what's fun about coming out here like a night like this? I just, unplanned. It's no pressure. I feel no pressure. I know you guys won't harass me too hard. I do love sometimes some of the comments that you get from people who don't get it, don't understand what you're up to. But that's their deal. That first egg came out so cool, I'm really inspired to do some more. And I was over at Chromercraft the other day and I ran into Nick Agar, and he said, "Bradley, that egg you did was so cool." And I said, "Yeah, I got to do more." And then the owner of Chromercraft came by. We're going to be bringing some more of these films or foils out into the market for you turners. And I've got other colors coming at me. So I want to kind of get my egg concept with the base, with the bolt that utilizes the threads there. I think the CI5 is getting a little dull. People always ask, well, how can you tell when those carbide cutters are dull? Well, they don't work as well. So we're getting, you can start to see some of the burl in there. All right, let's see if our CI3 is a little bit sharper. Getting a little bit of vibration tonight. I don't know if I have everything as tight as it should be. This is one of the pecan root burls from out here in the backyard. Do 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 do. This will be my second egg. Egg number 2. Alright, let's give that a rest for a second. We'll let that show like that. And I'm going to jump over here and just leave that this image up. I'm not going to change the camera, and I'm going to see if I can't get this chat thing back up here real quick. Let me see if I can't make it work. I know I'm not supposed to be typing when I'm out here, but hey, this is a fun one. I'm just goofing around. I know Joseph will give me a lecture. Oh, don't you love running old laptops? Not. One of these days, I'm gonna have my assistant to handle all this stuff for me. Because my biggest problem is I can talk and I can type, but I can't talk and type at the same time. That's one of my issues. I don't know how people do it. I could never work on the phone and type and talk to people, being a customer service order taker, something like that. That would never work for me. I would be horrible. All right, so we've got this streamer thing back up here on another computer. I don't want to download it for chat. I want to open it in the browser because it keeps breaking. And they told me to unload it and reload it, and I did that. And it says it's waiting for new messages. So I'm going to say hello and see if it shows up. It says that I'm on 2 Facebook pages and 1 YouTube page. I'm not sure which Facebook page it's missing itself. Since I'm over here by the computers, let me take a look at something real quick. It says I am on all the channels, according to itself, but we'll see. So there's my entry. Y'all let me know if you see that entry, since we are doing it. This is a beta night out here to testing equipment as well as everything else. And I see my own hello there. Okay. Alrighty. At least I'm having fun. It's Friday night. Friday night in Metter, Georgia. I can assure you there's nothing better to do than come out to the studio and join you guys, because we have 3 restaurants in the entire town that you can go to. There's 3 restaurants that you can go have dinner at. Other than fast food. There's all fast food out by the interstate. And those 3 restaurants are also out by the interstate. So it's pretty quiet here in Metter. And I don't have a pickup truck to drive up and down Main Street in front of the house. So I come out here and turn, or usually work in the office. All right, back to turning. And let me give you the end shot here for a little bit. We'll see how that looks for you, so that you can see that. Now, like I say, if anybody, and I would love it if somebody would type some things into the comment columns, just so I can see, hey, Mr. Dixon, Mr. Corey, good to see y'all. I would love it if anybody would type a comment or 2 or 3, just so I can see if this fancy chat box is working. It says, failed to connect the chat server. Please try reloading the page. I tried that before. Come on. I'm going to have to write these people another letter. Now it says there's no internet. What in the world? Hang on just a minute. Since I got you on that, I'm going to put you back to the overhead. Remember, this is a beta night, so don't yell at me. I think I might have a clue what's going on here. There's only 4 computers out here, and 3 monitors and a bunch of other stuff that all makes all this work. And then there's the operator, which is me, and I do apologize for kind of slowing things down, but that's what we're doing here tonight. We're kind of trying to figure these things out. Now, if I get this the way it should be, let's try again. I hope you guys are drinking beer so that you can tolerate all the good things. We blew it up. Yes. Yes, Brian, I broke it. But that's why we're out here testing. And we're having fun. All right, so it says that I'm back here again. Now that's bizarre. Oh, I know what was going on before. I think, well, no, I don't either. I say that, that's a lie. I was on Wi-Fi and now I'm on the Ethernet. So I'm gonna just throw something in here, then I'm gonna stop typing and go back to turning. So much fun. And we'll just enjoy ourselves out here tonight. All right. No need to be crazy. All right. So much for that. We'll see how she works. It'll either fly or not. All right. And we are in the overhead. So I was going to give you the end shot. So let me do that. Because I'm going to be working down here on the end now. So we'll give you that. Because this is where I have to take most of the material away. This is going to be the base of my egg down in here. I do get a little bit of vibration, of course, because I'm on this threaded shaft. I wonder something here. I wonder. Let me think about something here. I know that this isn't going to be nearly that big. So what if I were to just make it smaller to start with? Because it's not going to be all that big. And basically part this thing off. So this is a mid-size micro detail. It's got a negative rake. Got the CI7 cutter on it. The long pointy one. And I'm just going to get rid of some of this. I don't want to mess up my egg. And I could maybe reuse this part right here for something. I'm gonna jump back over to the overhead. Oh, I was in the overhead. So I'll go to the end there for you. So you can see what I'm up to from, if you look at it this way. I can talk and turn, I just can't talk and type or talk and punch buttons. Go back to the overhead. I'm trying to save as much of that maybe for something else. I'll make something out of that if I can get away with this. One thing about these cutters, when you're in here, you don't want to have both sides of a cutter like this. Oh, let me move my hand. You don't want to load both sides of that cutter very much, because it can catch and grab and vibrate. Now I'm undercutting this because I'm trying to save it. My egg might end up being a little smaller than I thought, but I was just in a hurry to get some of this material gone. Don't know what the animal egg is from. It's not a dinosaur egg. Bigger than a chicken egg. Maybe it's a goose egg. I don't know. So I'm going to take this tailstock away a little bit, pull that live center back. So I see Henry Morgan's post there, or chat, and Joseph says LOL. Okay, things are coming through. I love it. I love testing. I appreciate everybody helping me test. You know, we're working on this together. As the saying goes, we're kind of all in this together. Make sure that I'm showing you what I'm thinking. So you see right here, I'm real close to touching both sides way out on the end. So I'm asking for trouble. So there we go. That's all I really wanted to accomplish. And that broke because definitely I want to show you the end view now. We're down in the burl, and that root burl isn't super strong. Okay, so that snapped off before I had an issue with it, which is all good. No problem with that. That made it easy. So now I can go back to turning my egg shape. It looks pretty good on my, I'm watching over on one of the other monitors that shows me the live Facebook feed. And these are all available also over on YouTube. They're being fed there right now. And I'll tell you this one thing, the difference I find between the replays of Facebook and the replays on YouTube. YouTube will be at 1080. Facebook will only be at 720 on a good day. It may be coming into Facebook now at 1080, but it doesn't stay that way when they archive it. YouTube stays at 1080, so it's a much better feed or look at, visual. So if you want to watch the replays of these, they'll be in both places. But if you go to YouTube, it's going to be a crisper, larger picture in better shape, which is what's good about YouTube. All right, and you love my mask. I know everybody loves the Jason mask. You hadn't seen me in a mask tonight. I'm still pretty clean so far. All right. Let's go back over. Let's go back to overhead. And I was going to bring that tailstock in. Oh no, I know what I was going to do. I'm talking too much. I get to having fun. And I think, because I don't want to put a divot in the top of this, so I'm going to go ahead and put, I might use a smaller one. Rubber Chucky. Donald Doyle's Rubber Chuckies. These things are awesome. These are urethane tips for live centers. He's got all kinds of good, cool things. He hooked me up with these a couple of years ago, and I started taking them out on the road, the woodworking shows. So it kind of crushes in there, but that's just giving me a little support. All right. Let's work on our egg shape. Do. Like I say, if I'm humming, you know I'm having fun. I don't know if you hear the vibration or not. One thing I think I'm going to do here real quick is, oh, that is so pretty in there. I'm going to make sure that my piece is still tight on my mandrel. Yep. Okay, because I had to put some washers on there because I didn't drill a little extra depth in the piece. And let me turn that effect off so you get a better look. What do you say, Corey? I hope you're doing well, buddy. Stop vibrating. I double check everything again. So I've got a fan going over here, and it blows the chips right on me, but it's worth it to stay cool. So this is a hybrid, a hybrid being it is resin and wood. You're starting to see that burl. Now, some of the ones we see, you see the hybrids where they have the clear top and you see the burl spikes sticking up and all that. So obviously this is not that nature of a piece, of a cast, but it is a hybrid cast with a burl in there. Now tomorrow I'll be making new stair risers, that's right. Our 1910 house, the back porch stairs are starting to show their age. Matter of fact, they showed their age and they rotted and broke. So I'll go back to my carpenter days and my carpenter skills. It was ironic, so I was at Lowe's today and I had to go in there and buy, I got all the tools, all my carpentry tools are still out in Colorado where I was building houses for 20 years. And I was like, well, I got to get another one of these, another one of these, another one of those. I bought the pre-made stringers and they didn't work. They didn't fit quite, so I'm back to making my own. But right now we're having fun with resin. Alright, let's start cleaning this up because my egg is starting to take shape here a little bit better. Again, I'm not a professional egg turner. Don't make any claims to be. But I am having fun learning. And it is all about the shape. And getting the shape right. And that's definitely going to take some practice. But like anything, it takes practice to get things where you want them. And to learn how to do things. The more we practice, the better we get at it. This is a pretty piece of wood. Alright. I think I'm going to go, even though it's vibrating, I'm going to take that tailstock away. I'm going to take my mask off for a second. And get a little fresh air, cool air. Go ahead and take the tailstock away. So that I can cut the full shape, turn the full shape here. I got stuff all over me. I'm a mess, but that's all right. So Roper, I don't think he's on here tonight, but Roper saw the post I made about some real colorful shirts, and I said I'm going shopping for those. He says, hey, he wants one for a turning coat. And I said, let's do it. Let's start a trend. We'll make the new. They're like 60s mod craziness. And so this looks pretty good. I just want to, I don't know, do I have any alcohol in here? Is there any left in this one or not? A little bit. I'm going to show you what this looks like. I'll just hit it with a rag real quick. Let me go to overhead, turn that off. Just a little bit of denatured alcohol on there just to make it shine for a second. And you'll be able to see down in that resin and that wood. Now, is that pretty or what? So you can see the glitter starts to show up. And of course the burl there. And if I go to the end, it's kind of far away now on that. We'll see how the focus does when I move in on this. I got it on manual focus. Let me change so it doesn't make you dizzy while I change that. I don't want to make you seasick. But I can't, I know how it is, my whole bar. I got some adjustments to do out here. There we go. Is that still in focus? Yeah, okay, it's not too bad. So that's what we're working towards. That's what we're working on there. So we'll keep turning, and like I said, I'm going to work on that front end now. Corey says I'm making a mess and having fun at it. Yeah, and I'm not even getting paid, Corey. I'm working for free. Can you believe that stuff? Working for free. All right, let's go to the overhead for a second. All right. Time to get it dialed in. I'm going to go back to the end view for you. We'll see how she vibrates. With my green screen, I have most of my light on the walls right now. I've got a bunch more cans. I mean, I've got theater cans that are still in the office I need to come out here and put up. Because once I started using this green screen, I can see how I really need the light. Now, one thing you can't see is that back over there is my work table. How'd you like that green screen? My work table here has the back of it's black. And that's what I'm looking at, this contour, and I'm getting a great profile shot so I can see this profile here. Because seeing that contour is really important, and you got to have something contrasting to take a look at it. So let's go back over to let's go to overhead there where I'm at now. Turn off the effect for you. This way I can work out the humps. It's kind of a squatty little egg at the moment, so again, I am not the professional egg shape turner yet, but hey, I'm working on it. So as I get closer and closer to the shape I want, I slow down the cut. Now I'm going to switch over to one of the radius tools pretty soon. This thing still doesn't have the shape I want down in here. I want to take a little bit more of this out. Corey, I'm glad that you're working on demo equipment. You let me know when you do your first one. I want to watch. Okay? I want to hang out and watch you, buddy. Let's see what's in here. What's going on right there? All right. Egg shape. Working on that egg shape. Looks like a dragon egg. Have you ever actually seen a dragon egg? I know people talk about them, and I guess there was Game of Thrones, I guess is where we could have seen a dragon egg, right? I'll refine this shape until I mess it up. And then it's going to be fun to make a base for it. So I'm not going to spend a terrible amount of time on this, because I am just kind of experimenting. And the beauty with having the brass in here, the beauty with having the brass insert in there is I can always come back and return this. So let's say I make my base, I take my piece of wood here and I make a base for it. And once I get it into base, I want to change the proportions of this a little bit. As long as I haven't, and even if I had gone to the nth degree of sanding and polishing, if I decided I wanted to change the proportions of the piece, you can always remount it on the lathe, which is something that you can't always do with a finished piece. So since the piece has the brass insert, is going to have a brass insert in here, or has one. Since it's got this brass insert in there, we can always mount this back on a lathe and alter it, fine tune it if we were so inclined. So that's kind of a pretty cool concept. Lewis Kaufman dropped in. Good to see you. And Scott Hampton's here. Thomas O'Connor. I'm looking over at other screens. I got all kinds of screens over here to look at. All right. So I'm going to switch gears to the radius cutter, and the only one I have is the micro. So again, I'm not going to worry about making this the perfect egg shape, because I want to play through on my idea of making a base for it. Where are we at? We're on 3. Making a base for it out of the wood, and then the hole down to the bottom, and the bolt comes up in there. You know, I hope, you know, those of you who are watching, if nothing else, maybe it helps you get an understanding of how I work through a process when I have a new idea. Because you don't always know how it's going to go. Sometimes you might not even know, where to start. One of the biggest things for me, of course, is not being afraid to try something. If you don't try it, you won't know. And this tool rest has a nick in it, so I'm going to look for my flat file real quick and see if I can't fix that. Because now that I'm getting down to the final shape, as I get down to the final shape, I want to make sure that this tool rest is nice and smooth, because anything that hangs it up will affect that shape. So I don't take a lot, and I always make sure I take everything from the ends as well as the middle. And every once in a while, maybe I'll take that new framing square I bought today and bring it in, make sure I haven't ground this into a U. There's actually 3 big divots right there, not that you can see them. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of shift the tool rest away from those. Stay away from that. All right, and off we go. You guys, I'm being good tonight. I got my shoes on, my watch off. Don't talk to me about the ring. It's not going anywhere. All right, I see what I need to change here. So I don't know if you can see, there's a kind of a funny hump right in here. The profile is not where it should be. So that's what I want to fix up. The transition doesn't work, but it will shortly. Again, having that contrast back over here is so helpful. Now, if I was really, trying to do something with this, say I was making this piece, not just having fun, I'd make sure I had a nice fresh cutter, or I would have maybe even rotated this cutter. But I'm just out here on a Friday night having fun. Last I checked, Bridget was still at work. I told her I was going live. I'd be out here in the studio. So if she came home and wondered where I was at, I hadn't been abducted or anything. That's pretty. Okay, so I still got a bad transition right in here. That is a gorgeous piece of wood. I'm looking at it in the camera. I say wood and resin. So my little root burls from the backyard are doing well. I've got a whole bunch of these over there, and this is what they look like. Again, when they come off the tree. And I got a whole 2-gallon bucket over there. I've actually gotten them stabilized. I haven't cooked them all, but they're I don't know how many of them I got, because I was getting ready to plant flowers, which I've been doing since it's springtime, and so I was cleaning up around the base of the trees, the pecan trees. Okay, I am liking this more and more. And let me go back over here for you. Sometimes I forget where I'm at with the cameras. Practice makes perfect. Sooner or later I'll get it all down just like nobody's business. Alright, let's get this. I'm not going to sand this guy tonight. Alright. I'll tell you what I will do is I'll put a little bit of abrasive paste at it, just so it'll be shiny while I'm working on it, so we get to enjoy those pretty colors. Let's fix up the nose. So you can see now we're going to the nose. Needs just a little bit of work. I say the nose, I guess the top of the egg. A little bit more work right there. I see a Humpty Dump right in here. I wonder if that's an official term, a Humpty Dump. And since I can't stand that, I'm going to take it out right in through there. I got to take some more of this away. It's so fun to look at the contour, and as you get closer, it's funny, as you get closer and closer to the finished shape, the little teeny things that are kind of out of whack all of a sudden become really big. But that's how you fine tune and refine your shape. All right, and you can feel it all day long and get a pretty good clue. But if you look at it against something with contrast, it really will do you well. I'm gonna go back to overhead for you there. No, I'm gonna come around this way. I still want to take some more out of this bottom here. I always say that I'm not going to do much more to it, and then of course I do. Because I'm not happy till I'm happy. But these are the things that make a difference when you go to look at a piece and say, hey, that's a nice shape. If you take the time to make all your curves, all your radiuses really flow nicely. When I used to design inflatable kayaks, they were all real curvy boats. And so I've always kind of enjoyed looking at curves and working with curves. Alright, I think I'll quit fussing with that. I'll quit fussing with that for now. That's our egg shape. Because now I want to make a base. I don't even know what time it is. It is 7:41. Not that it matters. I'm just going to the house. Okay. So there we go. And we go back to the overhead. Overhead's always good. There's the overhead shot. Okay. I said I was going to put some abrasive paste on it, but I see some right here. There's a little void, and I don't want to get the paste and the wax down in that void right now, so I'm not going to do that. We will wipe it down real quick here again with a little bit of alcohol so you can see it, and then we'll take the spindle off and we'll change the mandrel, excuse me, off the spindle. We'll go to working on wood. So there's our fun little colors in there. There's our absolute base. Again, it's kind of flat here. I may need to make that have more profile to it. See, it may be too flat here. I may not be happy the way the base works, but that's why we're experimenting tonight, right? We're having fun, we're experimenting. Thank you, Lan. I appreciate that. I'm just having fun, Experiment, practice, fail, get up, do it again. You'll get it figured out. Because if you take the pressure away, if you stop putting pressure on yourself, that it has to be perfect, what'll happen is after a while they'll come out really nice. I don't. Perfect is one of those things that you can chase it the rest of your life, and you probably never find it, or maybe you will. But if you just have fun with it in a relaxed mode, your mind works, your body works, they all work together, and after a while, next thing you know, you go, hey, that was easy, and it came out nice. And people like it, it looks good to you, so that means you've done the right thing, you've gone the right direction. And that's how we get there. That's how we get where we're going. So what do I need to do? Let me stop talking and think about this for a second. I guess I need a chuck on here, which I just happen to have one hanging around from last week. And what am I going to do? That has a little tenon on it. Let's see, what am I showing you? That's got a little tenon on the end. This is a piece of end grain sycamore from that 6,300 pounds of sycamore that I'm still slowly working my way through. And I'm just going to kind of, do I want to use that tenon? It's not much of a tenon, but I think I will. We'll just be careful with it. Well, now that the sun's quit beating on the place, it's cooling off. It feels pretty comfortable. Corey, you like the colors? Yeah, they're pretty neat, aren't they? Is this going to be for a wine bottle stopper? Well, then you answered your own question. So we'll leave it at that, Corey. You got it. You got it. You got a handle on it, buddy. Go over in here. Get a set of jaws out. Little 1 3/8. Losing my microphone. It was, when did I start doing stuff out here? I don't know when I did the first live streams. September, maybe? And I had been like 4 years waiting. The building's been here, and it's still not truly finished. But I was so happy when I was able to start getting out here and turning and doing the live streams and setting all this up. So, technically speaking, this gap is a little big. That should be a little closer, but I'm not going to go through the trouble to return this guy for what I'm up to. All right. We'd like that to be a perfect circle, but it's not. But hey, we got dinner to get to here after not too terribly long. And this is a pretty piece of wood, the sycamore. All right, so let's see. You can't see that because I'm in too tight. Let me back out this other camera. So what I'll be doing is turning the inside of my base here, okay, until I get a fit. And then I'm going to make some kind of a shape here. Don't ask me what it is. I don't know yet. But that's how this is going to work. And so then this would be the decorative base. So it's two different projects in one that come together. All right. Haven't ever tried this one before. It's a first. You know, going to just make that into that, make this into something pretty or not. Don't know what kind of finish we'd put on here. I may dye it, I may not. You know, I'm just having fun and experimenting, and I hope you're enjoying watching. So, that being said, what do I want to use for tools? Oh gosh, I could use anything. Of course, all my other ones are over there. So, I'm going to go to the overhead camera for a second. All my high-speed steel tools. Oh, that green is looking bad. Looks like, what's the deal? It doesn't show up in-house that bad. Craziness. I'll have to work on that green. I just looked over at the monitor and saw that. Or looked at the Facebook feed. We'll get her worked out. I got all my Carter & Son tools over here out of the way from when I was doing strictly some resin work. So now, I'm wondering where my spindle gouge is. Got to be hiding around here somewhere. May not have it handy. That's what happens when you don't have all the tools ready at hand, which is not uncommon for me, sad to say. But it's true. But I made a living without a spindle gouge, so if I don't put my hands on it real quick, I'm not going to sweat it. But I do like to play with them because I'm trying to get better with them. There's one. There we go. I've never been, a big spindle turner. So I always like to play with tools that I don't use a lot. How do I get better? I use tools that I haven't been that comfortable with or haven't used a ton. So this Carter & Son spindle gouge. I'm not going to go over to the grinder with it. I'm going to run it the way it is. This looks like their detail gouge. Just going to have fun. Work on this end down in here and see what we get. So we'll go there and there with that. I'm going to come over here and check these other computers real quick just to see what's shaking, make sure things are going on. Looks like we're having fun. The back of my foot looks good. I told you I was wearing shoes and no socks. All right. What better way to spend a Friday night? So I'm just going to start to play. We are in that end. So yeah, that looks all right. I'm just looking at the camera. It's nice to know you can walk over to a box with tools just kind of piled up in it. Pick one up and have it be sharp. You know what I mean? Okay. I think I will make this, I'll clean this up too while I'm here. See, I'm not going to get carried away as I don't know what I want to do with it yet. Alright, so we know we need to go deeper. Great way to practice cuts. And even though this is an area that, is never going to be seen, nobody's going to ever see what you're up to, or what you did, it's still great practice. Alright. Looks like we need to keep going deeper. So I'm going to keep doing this until I touch this outer ring. Right here, there's a, let me see, do I have a marker handy? Let's do this. Let's see if I have a marker handy. I'm going to mark this. What color is that? That's yellow. What else we got in the drawer here? Brown. I was looking for brown just the other day for a fella. Looking for a, let's go green. Brown, green, who knows? Let's try them all. just to highlight. The piece is green, so I better go with, let me make it a dark color. I'll make it brown. So this is a Chromacraft alcohol dye, alcohol-based aniline dye marker. Same as the liquid dyes. They're great for all kinds of fun little things. We want to go to 2. It pretty much is an egg in a goblet, Corey. It's a good way to think about it. So I'm just coloring that up just for reference. So there's my line. I wish I could get that a little closer for you, but that's probably all right. So now that's my reference point, that inside darkest edge. That's where I want to make the egg touch. So now that I've done that, I can come back in here and I can see how much more wood I need to take away, if that makes sense. We're getting there. We're getting there. And I may switch over to a bowl gouge here in a second. Because I'm getting real close, but I need to go a little bit deeper. So let me try this guy. I didn't mention it, there's birds in here. I share the shop with, or studio with birds. So the light that I would normally shine right there is now shining against the wall for my chroma key, but that's all right. Okay, so there's my fit. I'm happy with that fit right there. You can see just barely in there, but that fit works well. That's the deal. So now, since I'm in a hurry, I'm going to go ahead and start making some kind of a shape here. Again, I don't have a plan, don't have anything in mind specifically. Just going to kind of have fun with it. See what comes to mind. And practice my spindle gouge work. What do I want to do with this guy? So then I think what I'll do is, I'll bring the egg up here and just kind of stick it in there. So, just to get an idea of what the shape is looking like as I hold it there, and what kind of a base do I want to make with it, things like that. Now you could, and I'm going to practice my texturing tools. This could be a textured rim. All this could be textured. This little rim right here could be textured up nicely. That would be kind of cool. Now what I might do, although I'm getting fantastic cuts, nice clean cuts with this tool without even sharpening these guys, I could switch over to the round carbide and kind of do the sculpting concept. But maybe I'll just stay with this. Like I said, I'm just having fun. And I'm going to have to figure out where my parting tool is. I need to find it right now. I need to start laying out. That's the next thing I need to do, is lay out where I think I want to make the bottom of this. As I root through the pile. And I don't want the base, to be the main feature, so I don't want it to be real big. So I think I'm just going to kind of eyeball and say somewhere in here. Okay, that just gives me something to work with right there. Somewhere to go, something to think about. Because I'm really more interested in just in my concept tonight. Again, we're just playing with ideas. Okay. I think I'll take a little bit more out of the waist of this. And I might just for fun, I might go ahead and hit this with a little, I'm not going to sand it, but I'll just take a little abrasive paste. Let's give this a little more shape. I need to work on my left-handed. That's what I need to do here. And I want to make this a little bit smaller. When I did that, it changed the look of everything there. Again, this is nothing fancy, it's just a little something. Play with my idea. The other thing is my bolt. That should be just about, should work pretty well, almost. I bet you. Be real close. Okay. Do 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 do. S for yucks. All right. Pretty piece of wood there. Indeed it is. Let's see. We're going to take, so I used this the other day, and I'm going to use it again. I'm going to put it right in there. I'm going to put some wire burn on this. Trying to learn to use this more. And since I got a little tool mark right there, take this Carl Jacobson Special Easy Wood Tools wire burner. We'll put a couple of nice little lines on there. See if I can get one more up going uphill the other way. There we go. Not exactly symmetrical, but hey, we're just having fun. Right? Doesn't like to work up going uphill, but I don't care. So there's that, there's that. Alright. I'm going to clean up this a little bit. Then we're going to paste that real quick, and then we're going to drill the hole in it. So let's clean this mess up. We'll make that little base undercut. And what's going to happen is we're going to turn this whole thing around after we drill the hole in it. We're going to make a bigger hole for the... We should use a carriage bolt, but I don't have one tonight because, like say, I was thought of this on my way home. I thought of this on my way home from Lowe's while I was driving and picking up the boards for the stairs. So I thought, well, if I have a 3/8/16, even if it's a hex head, it'll work for what I want to do. Now I got to figure out what did I do to make that so bad. See, a little adjustment right here. You'll see that change. Well, you'll saw it change. I'm watching the delay. Got to figure this out. Maybe it's the way the light changes in here. I don't know. That's why we're doing this tonight. We're having fun. We're experimenting. See it all cleaned up to a degree. Got to bring more lights in here. All right. Anyway, we got to drill a hole. So, gonna drill a hole and abrasive wax it. Abrasive paste. Do. All right. I wonder if that 1/2 inch is going to do the trick. It will indeed. Close enough for what I want to do tonight. So let's go down here. And we're just going to come in here with our 1/2 inch Forstner bit. And I should measure. I'm just, like I say, I'm just winging this. So let's see. Where do I have to go to? Basically the back of my tape back there. There it is. Oh, okay. Never mind me. Doesn't matter if I go too far. Won't hurt anything. Turn the speed on down. We want this hole to go all the way through. You can tell I'm not a pen guy. I probably have some elaborate thing for drilling pen blanks, but it's not me. Nothing wrong with them. People love doing pens. I want to make sure I've gone plenty far into that other blank. I don't really care about that. All right. Good deal on that. Take that guy out of there. A little bit of quick paste on here just for a finish, just for fun. If I can figure out where I put it. There it is. We're not going to do any sanding on anything. We're just going to have fun. Quick, quick, quick. Because I'm getting hungry. What time is it? 8 o'clock. About time to go in and make dinner. Flip this guy in reverse. I'll just clean this up a little bit. And then what I'll do is I'll spray some lacquer on the egg. And we'll have a little finish on here just for concept. I'm not even going to worry about that marker up on there. It's just a proto concept idea. You know, just having fun, experimenting. Then we'll take and elaborate and develop and come up with neat ideas. I mean, I can see a million ideas. This can all be textured and all kinds of different things in there. I'll get my Sorby texturing tool kit out. Get some practice with that. I need to get better with that. Have fun with it. Just not where I need to be with it yet, but that's all right. Where are we at here? How's the green looking? Oh, I see a little artifacting going on there on Facebook. It is Friday night and everybody's on the internet. The other thing I wanted to do, I wanted to check on here. Yeah, okay. We're all good. Oh, somebody left wood chips in there. How about that? Never can tell what you're going to get. Let me show you what this is looking like. The sycamore is pretty. 3 little detail rings, burnt rings on there. Had to do something with it. Just as we get there. Yes, sirree. Alrighty. There's our little piece of wood. I'm liking the idea. Part that guy off. Put on safety mask. Cardinal parting tool is 16th inch parting tool is my favorite parting tool. Oh, I was up there. This is the parting tool. Easy wood. Carter and Son Tool Works. They're 16th. Reverse would not be good for parting. Now I got to remember there's a hole down the middle of this, so it will part off sooner because it's not solid. There we go. And there's our hole in the bottom. Cool beans. Where are we at here? We're on 3. So there's our hole in the bottom. Working out just like we had planned. All right, quick change of things here. So we're going to put the top end of that in a set of jaws. And probably the 2 3/8. Although I can probably hold it with that if I needed to. So the idea is our bolt goes in, and I can see there that my bolt goes through enough to grab my egg, but I need to recess that area right there for the head. Now I say with a carriage bolt that would be fine, so I'm going to just put this in these jaws real quick like, instead of changing things around. I'm just going to hold this real gentle, and I'm going to, if these will go out that far, and maybe I may change them out. Yeah, I'm going to change them out after all. So let's go ahead and change those jaws out real quick. We'll go up to 2 3/8. Better to have the right stuff in place. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All I need is the 4th one. There you are. Again, I hope everybody's enjoying their Friday night. I'm having fun. I just wanted to come out here and play with this idea. Something to develop. Sometimes you get a little stale on some things that you do. So I'm having fun playing with some new ideas. But I don't want to be known though as the Eggman. No, don't need to be the Eggman. Tell me that that's going to grab that. Tell me I'm having a good day. Oh, it doesn't get any better than that. So I mean, that's perfect little grip right there. I don't need much, just enough, and I don't want this to spin, but I don't want to mark it up either. Granted, this is just a little test piece. So I just need to clean out, make enough of a recess in the bottom here for that bolt head to drop in. Okay. That's what we're after. And you can see it there. The bolt is proud right now. So a carriage bolt would work so much better. Do 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 do. Drop that down real quick. It's dinner time. I'm not turning very fast. I could also cut this in with a parting tool. I could use a carbide tool and make a square cut for that as well. A lot of different options here that we could do. If I take the little teeny square cutter, I could do that. Raise that up. Which one are we on there? We're on the end. Although I may hit, may not work. So I think what I'll do is use a detail tool. That's what I'll use. Trying to find something that's not going to hit. No, that's not going to work either. It's one of those days, so we go back to... Yes, you could drill it with a bigger drill bit, obviously. That would be a good thing to do as well. I don't have one hanging around, so I'm not going to do that. And we're just testing our little theory here. All we want is our bolt to disappear. Oh, just a teeny bit more. Just a fuzz. Of course, now I got to get it out of there. There we go. Now it may be too long once I do this on the other side, but at least we know. Once you have it figured out exactly what you want, what you need, you'd be all good. I got a feeling that'll drop in there far enough. And it does. Off with the mask. Back to here. Alright. Again, the bolt might be too long. I just grabbed what I had hanging around. Sure looks like it's going to be a little bit too long. But the general idea... There we go. Voila. Egg sits on a stand. Pretty, if it was a pretty stand and all that good stuff, that would be what you had, what you wanted. So my plan worked. I'm happy as I could be. So here's another thing you can do. Because we have this, if I can get that bolt loose, you can use the bolt to hold on to the egg and spray a little lacquer on it. Real quick. Just a little something to hold on to it. Gives you a handle. Just to give this a splash. Let's see, that end camera. Oh no, the top camera's probably got the best shot going. The fan is going to blow the lacquer away. I'm zoomed in pretty tight there. Let me go to the end camera there. And then I can hold it up like that. You could dip it in resin again. Any of those kind of things. And boom, so there's my little handle to hold on to it while it dries. Of course, now I can't let go of it. Maybe I can probably set it down if I'm careful. Right here, see if it'll sit on that bolt head. And it will. So there's our concept. There's our idea of a base. And our piece, and it drops in there, which is pretty cool. All right, I had fun. Now it's dinner time for me, and probably dinner time for you guys. If you were here tonight, obviously, I appreciate you coming out, and I had fun. Hope you did too. Everybody have a good weekend. Oh, either a Saturday special is not this Saturday, but begins next Saturday. We'll be doing the Grex airbrushes and the Chromacraft dyes and paints, the fine detail and airbrush paints. We'll be ready for that for our Saturday special. Great sale, 2 hours, 1 to 3 on Saturday, not tomorrow, but a week from now. So y'all have fun out there. Be careful this weekend. I'll see you on Monday Methods, 10 a.m. Take care. Have a good weekend.